Hey loves, Molly here. How's everybody doing? It's close the kitchen. It's close the kitchen time. Let us get the party started. Oops, sorry about that, Facebook. So, hi Emily. So we are closing down, close the kitchen. Still gonna have our Sunday nights, which is so exciting. Hey Instagram team. We're gonna still have our Sunday nights. I mean, that's where we started, but we don't have to stay at home anymore. So our lives are getting a little bit bigger. Very excited. I know it's our last Wednesday. But here's the thing, if any of you have known me. Hey, Brittany, if anybody of you have known me, here's what you need to know. It just gets better. So, and this is a spiritual belief, you know. One door closes, another door opens. What I can promise you is this. You couldn't get rid of me if you tried. So please do not consider the ending of our closing of the kitchen to be the ending of us. First of all, we still have our Sunday nights. Hi, Charlene. But I got a whole bunch stewing. You know me. I've always got something stewing. And I'll tell you, I'll give you the spoiler alert, because let me tell you something. Over at Team Molly Carmel, are we stewing? And we have a big, exciting launch on Friday. We're launching drop-in groups. And I just got the roster of drop-in groups, and it is like, one is better than the next. Basically, I'm probably going to sign up for all of them, so you better run to the sign-up is all I'm saying. So, we close the kitchen. We commune at night, this beautiful community that we've created in the last 3 months. We commune at night because night gets lonely and night gets chatty, and the food comes to talking, right? And it's really important that we look for nourishment and we look for nurturing and we look for those things because, you know, if you have a complicated relationship with food and you're looking for it to be quieter, you know, turning to it when times get tough doesn't make it quieter. It makes it louder. And, you know, I wanted to talk about something. I wanted to open up a topic tonight that was in my Facebook group that I was pretty fascinated by. And by the way, if you're not a member of our Facebook group, like, why not? Talk about nourishment and nurturing, like all day, every day in the Facebook group. But it's pretty amazing what's happening in this breaking up with sugar movement. I mean, for 1,000 reasons, but something that's really happening is that it's working, right? And so people are starting to be broken up with sugar for 90 days, 100 days, 110 days. I mean, the book's been out since, and there's people who have been doing it since far before the book came out. And there's this wonderful phrase that they talk about in recovery, and they say, you know, if you want to know why you've been abusing sugar, stop abusing sugar. If you want to know why you've been eating at night, stop eating at night. If you want to know why you've been drinking too much, stop drinking too much, you know. If you want to know why you've been, fill in the blank, fill in the blank. And so there's a lot of people, you know, getting really healthy and talking so much about the past history of diet drama and trauma and saying like, hey, you know, in the past, I've just been in this like whirlwind of like self-hate and shame and hopelessness. Like I'd go on a diet and then like I'd fail, the diet would fail me. I'd fail at the diet. I'm back in that demoralization, that shame. I hate myself. I'm just me the rest of my life, like blah, 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 blah. And like, this is like the way it goes, you know, over and over and over. We get stuck in this perpetual cycle. It's a talk, you know, our relationship with compulsive dieting is often, I'll say it, worse than our relationship with sugar. And our relationship with sugar can get really, really bad. And, you know, there's one of my favorite books ever of all time on sabotage is called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. The reason I love it is like very simple. It's very straightforward. It really describes sort of why we sabotage ourselves. And one of the reasons that we sabotage ourselves is because we're sort of created to be scared of things, right? And we're created to protect ourselves. And so when it looks like life is getting like really big and really beautiful, sometimes we stop. And we say, oh, you know what, that's too much. I don't want to do that again. And then we're in this repetition of this diet drama and diet trauma. And that sort of takes on its own life too, because that becomes our familiar and our comfortable. So people in the Facebook group right now are like, so here's this thing. I'm really getting good at this. And this is happening I talk to you guys about themes that I see when I'm coaching, when I'm doing therapy, when I'm reading the Facebook group. I believe like that's kind of spiritually what I should be talking about. And this we talked about today in my sessions. And it's like, well, like, what do I do when things get quiet? What do I do? You know? And I'm here to tell you, like, number one, don't sabotage it. Be okay with things getting good. We have to learn that sometimes. We have to learn that. But this is the whole point, is that when you take out this big problem that many of us have had for years and years and years, it's kind of haunted us and followed us, you know, and you have this free space, you know, we don't want to fill it up with more toxic stuff, compulsive shopping, yelling at people, getting obsessed with relationships, just kind of drowning in self-hate and not enoughness, right? This is the opportunity. By the way, you know, never a better time ever in the history of the world to talk about this, because now is the time to show up. You know, now you have the opportunity to show up for yourself and to show up for your community and to show up for the world. And that's like the next step after you've broken up with the sugar, you know, is to figure out who you are and who you want to be in this world, right? And there's a beautiful story, which I can tell you another time because I'm already going long, but I can tell you another time about does anyone know the story of the golden Buddha? I'll tell it to you really quickly. You know, and so there's a story of the Golden Buddha, and I'll probably bastardize it a little, but I'll tell it to you anyway. So there's a story of the Golden Buddha that many, many years ago, when there still was Siam, when it's still a country called Siam, right? There was a big, beautiful Golden Buddha statue. It's in Bangkok today. It's valued at $50 million. I mean, this is like some serious gold. And so the word came to the town of Siam that there was going to be a huge war, and they knew that everything was going to get destroyed. And so the only thing they could think to do was to save their Golden Buddha statue. And so what they did was that they covered the statue with thick cement, 12 inches of thick cement. Incredible idea, right? And so the war went down, the town was completely plummeted, and, you know, and the statue remained, the secret statue. So many, many years later, 50 years later, and this is where the story is tricky, but the concept's right. Apparently they needed to move the statue. I think they needed to build a highway through where the statue was. And so they got the cranes together and they tried to lift the statue. And all of a sudden, obviously, the crane broke, the statue crashed to the ground, and it cracked, and everybody flipped out, right? And worse than that, it started raining. And the monks went and covered the statue. And in the middle of the night, one of the monks went in and looked at the crack of the Golden Buddha statue. And obviously when they looked in the crack, they found gold. And the process that you are in right now, when you are breaking up with sugar, when you are finding your identity, is effectively taking the layers of cement off of you to find out who your true Buddha nature is, like who you truly are. And if you don't know who that is, what a beautiful opportunity, who you truly want to be. And the truth is that usually we're like pretty spiritual people underneath all of that cement. And the truth about spiritual people is that we need to be seeking. We need to be seeking. Spiritual people need to be seeking. They can't sit and do nothing. It's like a dog that needs a job, you know? It's like a dog that needs a walk and a dog that needs a job. And so we need to be continuously growing and looking for ways we can develop ourselves and help others. Like we got to be like in life. Those of us who are spiritual seekers. And usually it's those of us who kind of have these low level dependencies, because we need to have these higher level dependencies on things like divinity and things like service and things like love. It's like, it's all about, and Ronnie, this is for you. Like, it's a time to level up. For so long, we've been praying to the God of dieting. What a crappy God. We've been praying to the God of sugar. What a crappy God. And so when you let go of those gods, you got to go get a bigger thing to pray to. Now, I get it. I've been there. But I got to tell you something right now. You got to seek. I think it's exciting. It is scary. I get it. Go read The Big Leap. There's literally a pop psychology book written about how you're feeling, about getting this, about getting to these upper levels, like these upper limits, and then just sabotaging yourself down. I'm telling you right now, because that's a choice. Like the minute you know you're doing it, it becomes a choice. The minute it moves from the subconscious to the conscious, it becomes a choice. And so what a beautiful thing you've done for yourself. You have corrected this relationship with food, and now you have this opportunity to work on this relationship with yourself and with something bigger than you. What else is there? And there is never a time where you doing that work is more prevalent and more important. The world needs us whole right now. It needs us whole, it needs us active, it needs us thinking, it needs us contributing, it needs us doing all of these things. We are in a human rights movement beyond anything. There's nothing been more important than what's going on in this world right now. And so yes, if you have been brave enough to start to right this relationship with food and with yourself, yay. Now you get to be a spiritual seeker. It's great. And you get to learn all about how to be connected above, below, inside, and outside. Like, that's the deal. That's the whole deal. That's the whole reason we break up with sugar, my loves. So in the Facebook post, it was like, oh my God, what do I do? And I'm reading it like, what do you do? This is it. But you watch for the sabotage. And if you're a real saboteur, and I believe you me, man, oof, I'm a procrastinator, I'm a saboteur, I'm all the things. So I got to be like overcorrecting like a mad woman, making sure I'm not blowing my life up. Do you know what I mean? Takes one to know one. But listen, congratulations. I'm so excited. Let's see what you can do. Let's see how this girl runs, Let's see what you can do. Start seeking. Stop sitting around and start seeking. That's your job now. That's so exciting. And by the way, even if you're 10 days off of sugar, start seeking. Like, that's the whole point. We have to level up. We have to trade out these low-level dependencies and these low-level gods that we've been praying to and level up. Level up to love. Level up to service. Level up to divinity. Sugar. Don't let sugar be your God anymore. Come on. We can do better than that. Community. Let this community be it. Whatever you need. But it's time to level up. It's time to show up. And it's time to do it big, my loves. And that's what we're here to do. So anyway, obviously I've overstayed my welcome. But, that's part of my charm. And we're going to close the kitchen. Stay tuned. We'll see each other on Friday, but Friday morning, this email of the drop-in groups is coming out. And there's only going to be 12 spots in each group, and they're going to be the dopest. I might steal a spot. I'm not even kidding. They're so exciting. But anyway, keep your eyes peeled. If you're not a part of our Facebook group, please, please, please get on it. And let us close the kitchen together. Yes, here we go. We put our hands on our hearts for ourselves, for our CTK community, for those suffering with food and weight issues around the world, and for everybody around the world who is struggling. So, Crystal has closed the kitchen. Who else is closing the kitchen? Sue, amazing, closed the kitchen. Here we go. Sam has closed the kitchen. Incredible. Side note, if you haven't watched the Dave Chappelle documentary on YouTube, do it. It's amazing. Here we go. Jennifer has closed the kitchen. Andy's closed the kitchen. Sarah's closed the kitchen. Alicia, Diane, Oakland, Ronnie, close that sucker down. Heather's in 10 minutes. Hillary, 100% closed. Get it. Anna's closed the kitchen. Sherry's closed the kitchen. Shira, closed the kitchen. Minnie Nobu. Rachel's closed the kitchen. Emily, oh, I'm so glad, Emily. I love you. She's closed the kitchen. John Marie's closed the kitchen. Jean Marie's closed the kitchen. Amazing, my loves. So it's our last Wednesday together, but better. Just like what I'm saying about seeking. Trust that there's better coming. Yeah, it's so good. I'm in the middle of it right now. I was going to go finish the Dave Chappelle special. And yeah, be good. And know this, my loves. If nobody's told you that they love you today, I love you, and I love you deeply. I will see you on Friday. Keep your eyes peeled for our exciting email coming out on Friday morning. And I love you guys. Bye.